The big thing though that I wanted to talk to you about was I just feel awkward because I don't like I don't like, but the point is, it's like, yes, the Too Mad videos got wiped, all of them, basically, all like.
Oh yeah, I got hit, you got hit, Henry got hit, Larix got hit, all in like the same day. They like my video was like the first test, and then they hit a wave on everyone.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's literally like the scene in Godfather where it's just like right at the end, like a bunch of or like in Breaking Bad when all the fucking dudes die in prison. It's like they just like they killed you, which was like the king of like most viewed Too Mad video. They took you out, and then it was like, okay, let's just wipe all the fucking like the lower level grunts, basically the same.
Yeah,
day.
It's pretty frustrating, bro.
Yeah.
It's pretty frustrating. What is your game theory on why they hit us all?
Yeah,
why is this footage? Because this footage is in their system now. Because I texted you. I was like, oh, everybody's getting hit.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go to the gym and come back, and I'm gonna take care of the stream or whatever. I'm gonna cut the part that's bad. By the time I got back from the gym, it was down within like 2 hours.
Yep. Yeah. It's It was basically, so I like that you put it as game theory because that is kind of what it takes to understand what just happened to us, and it's so sad because it's like. Man, I feel it really is a reminder of my weakness when it's like we
have no power.
We ain't got no power, you know? But the real thing though, so the game theory that I have is basically along the lines of you and we are not trusted sources. And what does that mean? It means two things. It means that YouTube didn't literally choose to trust us. Like we're not in their system. They do have a separation between trusted and untrusted sources. This is real. Like if you look up any kind of relevant world event right now, you will not see an idiot like me or Tom. You will see a trusted source, which usually means a government or a company. And the reason that it's a government or a company is because those are institutions. Okay. And
so do you think if this footage had been on like CNN, they would have been fine?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, maybe not.
But the thing is, in the notice they sent me, they were like, we don't allow footage of this regardless of context. It's like, okay, first of all, I think we can both agree it's not footage of violent sexual assault or sexual assault at all. There was no sexual assault happening in that video. It's extremely that's like one dimension of the frustration. Yeah. And then the other dimension is like, well, they also have a policy saying that no matter the context, which means like, can the news not post videos of like happening things? Well, how is the public even supposed to trust the news?
Oh God! Oh Jesus! Yeah, go on.
If they can't show what happened, like, can you not show war footage like in context now?
Bro, this is where you're touching. It's funny because, and you've known this probably, but like this is something I've been complaining about for many months now, which is pretty simple. Like, you are not allowed to show reality, okay? Like this is real. Like YouTube is choosing who is allowed to show reality and who is not, and that's like extremely dangerous for journalism. That's why I'm getting shit basically, and it's not a massive amount. I don't really care, but I just really want people to understand. I'm getting shit because people think I'm just milking Too Mad, and it's like nothing about this has gained for us.
My man,
you know what I mean?
Looks like he likes bananas for the shape.
No, I think we've only suffered as a result, unfortunately.
Bro, dude, on so many metrics we've suffered. Like, oh my God, like you've spent a ton of money to get the court documents and like to actually figure out what the fuck is going on. I've spent a ton of time and like my own sanity just editing that interview down and basically making it like coherent. Like it's a massive loss that we actually cared and gave it. The point is though, we are not trusted individuals. We're not an institution and we're not trusted. And usually YouTube trusts institutions, and the reason for that is because institutions do have more power. That's just literally what it is.
So what we need is a institution.
Yeah,
we need a fucking front-facing company that we're all under the umbrella of. Yeah. We need to work. Like, can I actually get this done? Is this like a possible thing? That's like, I feel like we could do this. I feel like if we both doubled our money, we could probably do this.
Oh, trust. Like, Tom. Like, okay, you and I are like game players. Okay, like let's just be real for a sec. Like, you and I are long-term thinkers. Okay, this is something that we've talked about before, but it's like, yes, the goal is for us to gain power. And you need to kind of, in some capacity, develop or adopt an institution, whatever, to gain power, right? So, like, yes, what you're saying, I absolutely, that is something we have to do. Like, it's not even a question of should we or shouldn't we. It's like, we have to.
It's like we need some kind of like front facing company or something that seems like more legit.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know if we need a studio or what the we need, but also I don't know if we could ever have that as long as we're like. I mean, let's be honest. You're not a super edgy guy, but you're still a YouTuber. You like to make edgy jokes about 9/11 or whatever the else. Yeah. Like, can we ever have that kind of institutional power unless we drop like that aspect optically? Can you ever have that?
This is I'm grateful that you're asking this, because this is exactly the problem that I've been thinking about lately, and it's sad because it's almost a prerequisite to become an institution is to sanitize. You need to start sanitizing.
And that's the thing, like, I'm willing to sanitize to a certain extent, but there comes a point when it's like it's not even fun anymore. You know what I mean?
Okay, to bring it back, we were talking about institutions basically. So like the problem is that Tom uploaded a video about 2Mad. Archad's aware, by the way, of all this shit because I talked about it on his podcast, Horseshoe Theory. But the point is to catch you up. You know, obviously, more or less what happened with that. But me and Tom had a interview with 2Mad, which was like the first time anybody's pretty much had like an unironic interview with 2Mad since the Cold Ones interview that I can remember, basically.
I'd say it's literally the only interview about the situation that actually shed light on almost anything at that time. At least. I mean, No, it is. Like, and so but even at the time, we didn't really fully know or understand much. So like the consensus back then was basically like, 2Mad is obviously a schizo. He's like a meme lord, whatever. But like, how much is like he's competent? You know what I mean? Or like he like knows what's going on. And what me and Tom basically realized was like, he's. You know what I mean? Like in like a lot of he's losing his mind and he's addicted to all this. He's insane and he's not like totally innocent or whatever.
Basically. Yeah, as well. That's a big thing as well. And honestly, I think that really contributed to why he lost his mind was because he was trying so hard to rationalize him being innocent when he just really like wasn't. He wasn't innocent. He just might not have done as bad as was described. But anyway.
Wait. So why did? Yeah. Why? Because both your videos got taken down.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Tom's is back up.
So Tom's is back up. So this is what we realized basically. So Tom is a fucking juicer, and he like immediately re-uploaded his thing, which is different than what I usually do because I'm slow. But the point is that Tom re-uploaded it, but he realized the problem is the interview that that 2Mad. Sorry,
it's a specific part of the interview. There's this part of the interview we did where 2Mad was like, "Oh, I actually have a footage of the night of the assault," and we were like, "What?" And then he sent us this video of the camera pointed at the ceiling for like half an hour of him talking to the girl involved, basically Goldie Bell, about like whatever was going on, right? There wasn't like sexual assault footage in the video he showed us, but it wasn't a video that made him look particularly good. But there was no like sexual assault footage in there. But he basically sent us this like video we reacted to on stream. It was up on my channel for months. The court case concludes. It's still up. James Key posts his document. It's still up. James Key cites our thing in it with that footage, which was cited in court. They were like, this is a conversation where 2Mad, they claimed he admitted to it or whatever. So that was there. Our videos are still up. I post my big video about 2Mad finally going over the allegations, like on my main channel. It gets a bunch of views. People are watching it, and it has that footage in it. Like I go to bed, wake up, video's doing well. Midday that day, video goes down. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Why did it go down? They sent me an email saying we took it down because you included footage of violent physical sexual assault. And I'm like, what the fuck is this in the video? I had an inkling that it might have been that footage, even though there's no sexual assault in that footage. Because in my mind, that was the only thing that could even be interpreted maybe as such. But I thought it was like a mistake. Like I thought the video was going to go back up. I thought it was going to be like, okay, the video went down for like a little bit. It's going to come back up like fucking really soon. It's going to be easy. Video doesn't go back up. I appealed it. They pretty much instantly rejected it in a time frame that they couldn't have possibly watched the entire video. I talked to YouTube about it. They gave me a timestamp over email saying it was at that point in the video. I'm like, okay, well, I'll just cut that out and re-upload the video. So I do that and it's fine. So it was clear to me it was that footage. And then I want to say within a week, like every other upload of that footage on YouTube went down on the same day.
Yeah. So it got content ID claimed, which is something that occurred. The only time I ever learned this was with my H3 video. So like it got taken down at one point basically, and then like 6 months later, Keemstar uploaded it to his channel. Okay. and like censored, but it wasn't censored well enough, obviously.
The H3 video?
Yeah. So Keemstar uploaded it to his channel, and then YouTube removed that, and then so that's the second time it got removed. And then what happens is everyone freaks the fuck out and starts reposting it, like, oh, yo, free speech, all this shit. And that got the video got content ID claimed, which basically means you cannot upload this video to YouTube. Like, it'll automatically, like, their system detects it.
Okay, yeah.
So this is what happened. This is what happened with this 2Mad interview, is that literally, like, they content ID claimed anybody who used that part of the interview. It's
the footage was like put in their the footage was put in their system.
So like, even though and the thing that pisses me off is that now, so what that basically means is we are literally dealing with bots, like actual bots, okay? And so all of my, even the unlisted versions that I didn't end up uploading, all of them get wiped and like fucking cleared. And it does state like you won't get a strike. That's the thing. It's like, we remove this content because it breaks our community guidelines, but we won't punish you. That's basically what all the notifications said. Anyway, but it pisses me off a little bit because I'm like, bro, first of all, I censored the fucking the victim, the alleged victim's name, as well as her face, right? So like, I actually, it's not that, again, I'm confused because I'm like, are they trying to protect the victim, which I could understand, but it's like, okay, I did like put effort to protect the victim, you know what I mean? Like I was trying to understand basically what is the reason, you know what I mean? And I'm still not certain, but it could, I don't know.
The thing is that, and the way you know it's a bot specifically and not like a manual thing is because my fucking editor, who nobody knows is my editor, nobody publicly knows this guy edits for me. Nobody knows who this fucking guy is, right? He's like, nobody fucking knows. He had a copy of the video unlisted on his channel because we had uploaded it to test monetization. It didn't go down when my first video went down, which I think may have been the only manual one.
Yeah.
It went down like the minute your video went down.
I'm pretty sure that...
Fuck, that's whack.
Well, no, but what happened, and I'm nearly certain this is what happened, but it's like pretty simple. Like, your video... Dude, it almost got 1 million views in 24 hours, right? Like, how many, like, well, it was popping off.
I think it had like 700,000 within less than 24 hours, and then it got hit.
Yeah, so something happened within that time where someone somehow was informed, like, yo, this is like gaining a lot of views, and it has this sensitive, you know, according to them, basically sensitive information. And so yours was manually removed, but then basically, like, somebody went back, like, retroactively and was like, oh, fuck, there's been channels hosting this for, like, 6 months. So, like, I uploaded my video 6 months ago, right? So, and before 2Mad died, before the court case had finished, the whole point of me uploading that video was, like, this is a fucking primary source, a resource, basically, that is the interview, you know what I mean? Because this is something...
the night that happened, because you were working on the Sneeko vid, and then I was talking to Greg, like, oh, how's the Sneeko vid? He's like, oh, he took a break to make a 4-hour 2Mad video.
Yeah.
So I remember the day you uploaded that.
Bro, I actually met up with these guys the day after that interview, Tom. Like, you and I hung out that night, Tom, and then I went to sleep, whatever. And then I met up with these guys, and I was like, I didn't even know how to explain what happened. Like, because what needs to be understood is that was an event, okay? And an event basically means, like, it disrupted our fucking reality, okay? In the way that we thought we were just chilling and playing Fortnite, and I literally titled the stream the most chill Gokanaru stream of all time. And at a certain point, for you and I...
We didn't plan to interview 2Mad. It wasn't a scheduled thing. Yeah. Like, he just started typing in chat when we were talking about him. He was like, let me in.
Yeah.
And then he just dumped everything, and that was the rest of the stream.
Yeah, and so it was an event because there was a line where you and I realized, like, oh, fuck, this is not YouTube drama. Like, that's, again, like, that's what YouTube allows us to talk about, right? Because that's not, like, real, you know? YouTube drama to YouTube, it's not real.
But that's how YouTube sees it too. They see it. They're like, this is not YouTube drama.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so, like, but me and you understood, like, oh shit, this isn't just drama. And so, like, in the case of basically what happened the next day was, like, I didn't know how to describe what happened because, again, when an event happens, it's like an event, again, is like a disruption in reality. So it's, like, really hard to understand what the fuck it actually was. And so I basically had to go back and, like, I spent a good month, like, interpreting and trying to understand what the fuck what happened with that video, with that interview. And it was all bad. Like, I hated, like, that was awful. Like, I had fucking nightmares about this shit. Like, it was horrible. But the point is, though, is that all this, like, you know, work and basically just, we were doing journalism. Like, that is what me and Tom were doing with our fucking videos. Whether people acknowledge that or not, it's not an ego thing. It's like, that is what journalism is, you know what I mean? Trying to fucking interpret and understand and report, like, fucking shit.
Yeah, you had 4 hours of a first-hand source, right? Yeah. Like, him talking directly to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. And it's like, again, and it's a primary source. That's the weird thing. And so when basically, again, like so my video gets wiped, Tom's gets wiped, and basically Tom tries to get a reason, but then mine gets wiped and all these other YouTubers get wiped at the same time. Like mine wasn't special. Like it was just basically wiped content ID wise. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, maybe those other YouTubers like didn't censor her face or her name. Like maybe it was, or maybe they were like shitting on her. You know what I mean? Like basically like harass, whatever, the victim, whatever. And so in my mind, I'm like, okay, maybe I'll be fine because I did take like measures to fucking like try to make it clear, like, okay, I'm handling this with care. You know what I mean? Like, I know I'm not qualified. Yeah. I know I'm not qualified, but like, I give a shit. You know what I mean? And like, I tried, right? But
the thing is, like, who even is qualified? Like, just because you have a degree, does that mean you're qualified?
Our boy's grabbing a Zin, but that's a great question. And the fact of the matter, and this is real, depending on how you interpret this is a black pill, but look, the truth is decided by power, okay? That's like that's like a true thing, right? And so who is qualified is literally just who has power. Like, I'm not joking. Like, I know it's a total meme at this point, but it's like, unironically, like, the people who have, you know, especially in the case of YouTube, like trusted sources, they are trustworthy. It's not about, are you actually a trustworthy source? It's, do you look trustworthy?
It's not even about like if you cover it properly, because like Candace Owens was on YouTube defending Andrew Tate.
No, right? Exactly. Yeah. He's just saying like Candace Owens, this is a perfect example, by the way. Thank you, Tom. It's like Candace Owens basically goes to Andrew Tate, does an interview with him. She apparently reads like the court filings, all this shit, and she gives him the most softball questions possible, literally buys completely into his horse shit. Same with Tucker Carlson, by the way. I've been saying this, but like Tucker Carlson, I thought that guy was a journalist. No, he's just a talking head. But like he went and met Tate, and he literally just like got on his fucking knees and gobbled his...
I think he's actually a good guy.
Yeah, exactly.
He's charismatic. I mean, I felt that after the Moscow... when he's in the grocery store in Moscow, and he's like, wow, it's so clean. Like, there's no way you can fucking look at Russia and be like, oh, this is better than the U.S. And, like, say that honestly.
Yeah.
That was fucked.
But, again, like, okay, Tucker Carlson's a bit unique because, let's be clear, like, he actually did get axed from Fox. Like, that's true. So he like, lost his power, whatever. Now he's kind of regaining it, whatever. The point, though, is that Candace Owens, also funny that she got, you know, yoinked from fucking... Daily Wire, whatever happened there. There was some power games going on there, but the point is either way, she and Tucker Carlson, these people, they are all like weirdly like trusted sources. You know what I mean? And basically,
I think a lot of it's like they're just a household name, and that kind of gives you something,
a little bit of power. Yeah. But it's
in like YouTube's eyes, it's like, oh, it's Tucker Carlson. Well, you know, whether you disagree with him or not, I mean.
Yeah.
You know, we should be able to listen. And like the thing is, like, I agree, we should be able to listen to him, but we should also be able to say what the fuck we want on YouTube and cover what the fuck we want.
Well,
I'm not saying we should be able to show beheading videos on YouTube.
Right.
But like we should be able to fucking talk about a serious situation.
Well, okay, man, there's a lot to this. So like, okay, first of all, the fact of the matter is that Tucker Carlson is not a journalist, but he is perceived as someone who is like trusted or whatever. Like people believe in him, whatever. But beyond that, it's like, you know, he is an established name. If he didn't have a presence on YouTube, he'd probably he would just make a presence elsewhere. And the second big question, which I told you this in the last time we were talking, but it's like, is he willing to play ball, right? Which basically means, is he willing to not like disrupt YouTube's system in the sense of like, is he willing to follow, you know, the rules, right? Which again, following the rules usually just means, is he willing to not like draw too much attention to himself? Because yeah, if you draw too much attention to yourself, YouTube basically realizes like, oh, this guy's a risk now. And the second that you are a risk to power, right? And they have like little to gain by keeping you, you'll get fucking axed, which is what happened to Monkey Jones. Like it was like all risk, no reward for YouTube. Like just him being there was a risk to their power, and so they fucking stripped it from him, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, but the point is though is that yeah, so like in the case of us, like, dude, we gave a shit. Like it's so weird because clearly like we're not trusted, we're not qualified. But we really, like, in my mind, like, yeah, we try our best to do that justice, which most of these, like, independent sources don't do. But the big thing, again, it's like, Do you have power? So here's one that is like a scarier.
Well, that's the frustrating thing, especially like just it. Obviously, YouTube doesn't really care about how you feel personally about this kind of stuff.
They don't
like,
give a fuck.
Either like both the audience and YouTube as a platform, but it's extremely frustrating that like it feels like it was a real opportunity to like do some. I don't know if I want to say necessarily good, but to do something that's like somewhat noble, somewhat in the public interest, to genuinely cover a story. And it's not like we went into it with an agenda, not to name names, but there are definitely people covering TwoMad stuff who had like, because of their past or because of their political leanings or something, they had an agenda, which was basically to like, either shit on a woman or be like, we must believe all victims. We didn't have that. We didn't have any of that preconceived bias going in. We were just like, okay, tell us what happened. And we basically, at the end of that stream, we didn't even cast a lot of judgment. Obviously the chat did, but we were just like so awestruck. We weren't even feeling we were in a position to be like, this is what happened. We were just like, well, I'm gonna go to bed.
I got humbled, like in a real way, where it's like, holy fuck, like I didn't know what to do. But the point is, what you're touching on is real right there. And you were saying like, there are people who are like trying to make this kind of an agenda thing, and it's possible, and this is not like a grand conspiracy, but it is possible that like, because you're right, we weren't like attacking anybody with this in a real way in my mind, but we were
attacking him or her.
Like there were some people who were kind of in a way like you could interpret basically like fucking like leaning into the victim a bit, if that makes sense. Like, and I don't even want to make any grand claims, but it's just like if they weren't favorable to her or something like that. But the point is though is that it's possible that them, taking that stance, that some of the parties, and again, this isn't me placing it's just theoretical, complete horseshit, but some of the parties who were directly involved, which could be the victim, could be Jamesky, could be the people who, are working with Jamesky legally, it could be YouTube themselves, I have no idea. But the point is, if one of those parties involved really took issue with the stance that some of these other creators were having, basically, then it's possible that they notified YouTube, right? Because this is the thing, like YouTube.
I think it's entirely possible that someone told YouTube, like send them an email, and they like looked like an official person, and they were like, "Hey, this needs to go down." Like I think that's entirely possible.
Like the thing is that YouTube is not omnipotent, right? Like they need to be notified about shit. Like these people are not dialed in. They only.
I think somebody had to say something to them.
Yeah, and this is almost always in my mind, like almost always the case. It's possible they can be proactive, but in a case like this, it's just such a weird.
They were not watching the TwoMad drama. There's no way.
Yeah,
there's no way. I mean, it wasn't even on the grand scheme of things. Considering how big TwoMad was, the drama wasn't even that big. Like my interview with him had 300,000 views. Like, considering how fucking famous he was back in the day, you'd think it would have 3 million, and it didn't. Nobody was watching. Nobody was watching the details.
No, that's facts. Like, and so, but again, okay, so this is where we basically all we can do is like look at precedents, right? So. Fuck. Okay, so first of all, by the way, one proof, just so that people, if they think I'm a schizo, and most people would agree with this, but anyway, the point is that one piece of proof that YouTube actually doesn't give a fuck about creators, okay? They don't give a fuck. Let's just be clear. And the reason that they don't give a fuck is because we have no leverage, all right? We are on their platform, meaning that they have all the control over us. You know this very well, Tom. Like, they can fuck up all of our lives. All of our lives can get fucked. Like, it's humbling to understand that.
Yeah.
Now,
which is why there's really nothing we can do about it.
Yeah, and this is,
we can complain all we want.
And this is historically, by the way, like this is like you can frame this in a way where people would frame like workers' unions, workers' strikes. But the problem is that like there's no factory. You know what I mean? Like we can't just stop a factory from working. It's like. Your channel gets removed, and if you stop making videos, literally instantly there will be a fucking person to fill the void. There's an infinite supply, basically.
The factory is so big, it's the world,
Yeah, but it's so beyond. It's like there's an infinite supply.
There's nothing they would ever lose from deleting anyone.
And it's like if you look at it like if Mr. Beast stopped uploading today, if he went on strike, oh my god, like 45 fucking people would fill that void in a minute, you know what I mean? And like maybe the content will be worse, but like people will watch worse content. That's just gonna happen, I
wish people would stop framing so much of this stuff as like escaping the matrix or like getting control over your own freedom, because it's not. Like you should. If you're getting into YouTube, you should understand you're a fucking serf. To YouTube. Right? Like go into it knowing that.
No, you need to like a big part of how to gain power is to be aware of your power level. Like you need to be aware, basically, so that you can operate accordingly. All right, and so yeah, in the case of us individuals, like, bro, I mean, we really can't do much. And the appeals process, yeah, all this shit. But the point, though, the proof that I should say is...
I mean, but the thing with the appeal process, that's like... This part has to actually be a fucking YouTube error. You got a strike when you appealed it.
Yeah, well, that's what I was confused by, and I'm scared.
Like, what the fuck is that?
Wait, you got a strike for the two-man thing?
Yeah.
So on the
he didn't get a strike initially. He appealed it and got a strike.
Sorry, I forgot that detail, but that's why I'm pissed off. That's why, like, I was like, man, like, it's fuck you, like, and this has happened to me twice now. Let me just explain this because this is why I'm scared. Like, and fear is like almost always a respect of power, but it can become like delusional. But the point is though, is that like I like whether it was an error or not to give me a strike, that is scary to me because I obviously don't have control over it, and it's almost scarier to think that YouTube doesn't have control over it.
And you're also not even in a position to really complain.
Yes.
Why would they listen?
No, exactly. I'm not in a position of power.
Like,
that's correct.
Literally the most you can do. Like, I remember when one of my videos went down a while ago, I remember like asking Oompaville for help.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, he has like a YouTube contact. He can probably help. And then basically all I got back was like, yeah, you're kind of fucked.
And you know what? Nothing. And it's funny because I didn't even bother. Like I might, but I.
But then the video went back up. Is the thing.
Oh,
the video ended up going back up eventually.
Interesting.
But it was just like, for whatever reason, none of these YouTube contacts could figure it the fuck out until I finally just got the right guy.
See, and that's scary, right? Because it's like, it shows that behind the scenes, like, it is a mess. There's some mess going on there. But, like, yeah, whatever. That's why, by the way, like, YouTube isn't transparent. It's because if they were transparent, we would be wanting so much changed. Like, holy fuck. But anyway, the point, though, is like, in the case of Oompaville, even Oompaville got a fucking warning or, like, a strike for a video on P. Diddy. He was just covering, like, allegations of P. Diddy.
What the fuck? What was he struck for specifically? What did he show?
I honestly should have looked it up, but the point is, I think that he showed clips of, like, Justin Bieber, like, and Diddy, and, like, kind of implying, like, there might be a fucking power, you know.
Bro, that footage is definitely on the fucking news. Come on.
Yeah, you're right. It's got to be a better reason. I'm not sure, though. I want to ask Oompaville, but the point is, I'm like not super eager to reach out to Oompaville to see if he can do this for me because I know it's like he would have to be such a nice guy to do it because he would have nothing to gain. It's fucking Too Mad. Nobody wants to think about Too Mad. And it's like a pain in the ass, obviously dealing with fucking YouTube. And at the end of the day, he also doesn't have as much fucking power as he would like because he just randomly gets a fucking warning on his account. Like, what the hell? He's got 5 million fucking subscribers. I thought that he would have a bit more fucking power. But anyway, but the point though is like, and this is what happened with, by the way, I don't know if you remember this, Tom, but like, yeah, you do. When YouTube took down the iDubbbz content cop on Leafy, my H3H3 video, and that Psychic Pebbles video, that was all three in the same day, and it was the same day that they dropped new guidelines, okay? And that was consciously, they did that to set the standard, you know what I mean?
To set an example, do you know what the fucking guideline that they dropped was?
Oh, yeah. For me...
Was it the intrinsic attributes one?
Yes, that was for iDubbbz. That was the example for iDubbbz. For me, it was creator-on-creator simulated violence. But anyway, and for Psychic Pebbles, the Psychic Pebbles one is the weirdest one by far, and in my mind it just has to be somehow the Fine Bros must have told them about it. It had to be because think about any Me Canyon video. The Psychic Pebbles video was not as bad. Like, you know what I mean?
And by the way, just to clue into people to what the fuck we're talking about. Basically the deal with the intrinsic attributes thing is YouTube rolled out this rule in, I want to say it was 2020. Was that when they rolled it out?
End of 2019. End of 2019. December 2019.
Okay. And the rule was basically that you cannot insult someone's appearance. You cannot insult someone for something intrinsic to them, which would be like anything relating to their appearance. Like, you can't really make fun of fat people. You can't be like, look at this person's nose, it's so big. You can't do that.
Colossal got humbled really bad for this. This honestly blackpilled him. That's why he doesn't upload pretty much. Like, he got like 4 of his videos basically fucking like targeted. But yeah, go on.
I think it was either one of his videos or one of Leafy's videos that directly got quoted in the fucking guideline.
Wow.
It was like something about a snaggle tooth. They were like, you can't make. They were like, for example, look at this kid's tooth. His tooth is so disgusting. You cannot say that on YouTube. Like, that's what they said.
Do they still pursue that?
Like, it's
not really is the thing, because the thing is, like, you can make fun of Sneeko and call him like ugly, but with other things, like, you can't make fun of someone's appearance. Usually if you're making fun of a woman, I think is basically the deal. You can't do that.
Fans of Time hoodie. This looks sick. is available right now. Gokamerch.com. We got Eternal Beauty right here. Shut up, Gokanaru. The real thing you should be advertising is our brand new Hubert NPCs. Did you enjoy the Sneeko video? Do you desire the love and companionship that comes with owning a Hubert of your own? Well, then you should head to Gokamerch.com and sign up for the email list. It's easy. Just take a look at one of our satisfied customers.
You open it.
Oh! Oh, that's hard. A little bite! Wow, look at that smile. Making a friend has never been easier with our new Hubert NPCs. Sign up to the Gokamerch.com email list today so that you'll be the first to be notified when Huberts go on sale. Only a limited quantity will be sold. So sign up.